Ethernaut. The Ethernaut.
Yeah.
Tell me, why is it that I have been hearing about this thing across my feeds for the last week or so?
Yeah, I think it's because a country that you don't associate with sort of this sort of scale of television
Mhm.
on the world stage has suddenly gone, hello, we can actually make American type dramas in our own culture, in our own language, reflecting our issues.
Yeah,
And so it's taken this genre, this science fiction, post-apocalypse, whatever you want to call it, it's taken it and it said, okay, we are going to do this our way, in our culture, in our language, reflecting our history.
yeah.
And it's like we haven't seen that for a long time because America, I don't know, and it's this is obviously made before Mr. Trump starts making his announcements that
Oh
alienate the
God.
rest of the world and
Oh
makes everyone
God.
think, you know what, we're not going to look to America for our entertainment. We're going to look somewhere else. And
Yes.
so they've made before then, but it's actually it's I think it feeds right into the sort of the now because
Yes.
the world is going. You know what? We are a bit fed up with you, America, because of this man you elected and because some of the things he says. We love you individually, but collectively, we've had you're boring us now.
Yeah.
So
It's almost kind of like we need to show that we can do without you.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So they've this is a film that does that. So this is a drama. I'm trying to think, six parters, I think. It's a
Hmm.
six-part drama. It's from Argentina, set in Buenos Aires, and it is starts off with just before Christmas. So it's summer, southern hemisphere, so it's really hot. Everyone's out having a party. Everyone's out in the streets, and they get sort of power cuts because it's just the infrastructure. They do get frequent power cuts, and they have issues. And then one night there's power cut that's a bit different than everything else. It isn't just the lights that go off. It's like everything is zapped, and they
Yeah.
realize that it's an EMP, that it's everything electronic has been zapped. And then in the middle of this sort of tropical night, even though it's Christmas time, this sort of snow starts falling, really heavy, intense, and then there's this intense cold, and it's just not normal. But then they realize that when people go outside and they breathe in or they get touched by this falling snow, it's toxic and they are dying in their droves.
Oh yeah.
And we focus in on a group of people who are having a card night. They're playing, I forget the name of the card game, but it's like an Argentinian, it's like their version of poker,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
distinctly Argentinian. But they're playing their card game with their mates come round, a group of friends who've known each other for years, and they take shelter. And because it's very late, they think, okay, we're not going to go out. And one of them, who is an ex Falklands War veteran,
Yeah.
obviously in the had had been through that. He has got some experience with dealing with difficult situations, and then between them, they rig out a mask for him to wear, and they like a suit, and he ventures out into the streets to find out what is going on.
Yeah.
And also because they've come to this party, not all of their families were present at the party. There's some of the men have gone, but they've left their wives and their other family members behind. So some of them said, well, I've got to go. I've got to find out what's happened to my children, to my wife, to
Yeah.
my loved ones. So he goes out on his mission to firstly find out what's happening and also to find out their loved ones. And as he goes on this quest, he encounters, he finds out a little bit about what's happened. Not the full explanation, but things trigger something else, and you find out through his journey
Yeah.
um,
Uh,
what is happening.
I mean, the few stills I've seen, it makes me think the very lazy comparison is The Road, the Viggo Mortensen movie. That
Yeah,
yeah, the very lazy comparison is
Arctic
that.
Winter. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think you get a reason for that, and then I don't want to give any spoilers at all because I think it does. One
Okay. Okay.
episode does lead into another, and you do get a reveal in each episode, so you don't want
Okay.
to look ahead too much.
All right. Okay. So can I?
It starts
Okay.
off as one thing.
Okay. So it's a 6 episode thing. I just
Yeah.
looked up. Yeah, 6 episodes. Is it self-contained or is it come back for season
I
2?
feel that there's a season two in the offing because it isn't completely resolved,
Okay.
and the situation that they find themselves in, is ongoing. So it felt more like a phase one of this drama, or
Okay.
season one of this drama. But it starts off as one thing. You think, oh, this is going to be like parallels to our, how we're treating the planet. This is going to be about, what have we done? And then it starts off as one thing. You think it's going to be like an ecological disaster,
Yeah,
and then it turns into something else. And as the episodes progress, you find out that there's more to this than what we first suspected.
yeah,
But tied into this, you see this man. He obviously experienced, and he was in the Falklands, and he experienced the trench warfare there, and he has some trauma that he's dealing with, and he gets flashbacks and almost visions, and that tie into, are these visions prophetic? Are they look or are they looking ahead, or what it might happen, or are they looking back to what has been? And so
yeah.
you get this element of depth to it. But no, it was corking stuff.
All right, good stuff, good stuff. And you said so obviously quite a big scale and everything like that. But how many stars would you give the Ethernaut?
I'd give it a 4 because I thought it had scale, it had purpose. The characters were varied. They were not all your, again, when we look at our cousins across the pond and how they present dramas,
Yeah,
everyone has to be handsome. All the women have to be beautiful. All the men have to be handsome. And you may get the odd token
and not even
person.
that, a certain type of
Well,
handsome.
yeah, and a certain type of handsome. Whereas this is like, there isn't one. There is not the the handsome lead. There is, and there isn't like the dolled up girl in it,
Yeah.
bird in it. And they felt like sort of real fleshed out characters, and they make
uh,
stupid choices. And I'm thinking, if we were probably in such, we would make stupid choices. And so no, I felt it felt grounded to me. If you're going to make a disaster, apocalyptic, whatever, you've got to make it believable and real, and it felt grounded. And then,
all
yeah,
right,
so I thought it worked well. No, I really liked it. I'd recommend it.
good stuff. So 4 stars for the Ethernaut. I might get round to that.